how to release yourself from other people's insecurities. It's so important that you really think about this idea as you are leading, taking charge, or designing your next career step. The reason why it's so important is because it can really hold you hostage of what you want to do, and it can hold you hostage pertaining to the best next steps towards your journey, your final destination in terms of your career, in terms of how you want to market in this world, in terms of the products and services you want to express an interest and generate demand for. So thinking about how to release yourself from this hold of insecurities, I wanted to get really, really personal because it just came up for me and I think it might be helpful to you. And it's not just pertinent to a female. This is absolutely pertinent to anyone. So thinking about this, have you ever felt insecure when maybe you were at a pre-COVID cocktail party and you heard that someone else got a promotion, or you heard that someone else made it to SVP, EVP, VP, and you had maybe some more years of work experience under your belt? Or let's say you're a parent. Have you ever felt insecure where you visited a friend's home and you noticed that her child had 1,000,000,001 medals for either marathons or God knows what sports activity, right? And your kid has 0. So let's just think about those situations, right? And think about the moments when you have felt insecure about something. However, it was just like an all of a sudden, I'm insecure about this. Meanwhile, I had never thought about it before, right? It's almost like this inherited insecurity, this insecurity that came from left field and wasn't really yours to begin with, but all of a sudden you felt its weight, its burden on you. And this is really pertinent also to your career. So I did start out with that, and then I mentioned the parent example. But now let's talk about aging, because I think that's how it popped up for me this week. So for instance, here I am, I'm in a beautiful beach home. I'm in Byron Bay, which is akin to, I guess, the Hamptons from a New York perspective. Couldn't tell you at all from a West Coast perspective what it would be like, maybe Santa Monica. Point of the matter is, it's stunning environment. I'm a mom, I'm having fun with my kids, code word for stressed out because they're doing things that could break the house. At the end of the day, what do I notice when I look in the mirror? I notice my neck. And I'm like, what the heck? All of a sudden, my neck looks as if it has aged. And this insecurity, I want to point out, is something that never crossed my mind in my life. And it didn't cross the minds of my mom either, who is quite vocal pertaining to her aging journey, for lack of a better phrase. And when I started to think about it, I got really honest with myself because I was like, why am I all of a sudden fixated on something that's so inconsequential and downright stupid? Because I have no idea how else to really just frame this concept of an aging neck. So when I got really honest with myself, what I noticed was I had a decision to make at that point. Either I could spend an enormous amount of time fixated on my neck, which had never been my insecurity, but all of a sudden I felt like I inherited this thing. 2, I couldn't give a crap about my neck, and I could actually use that time fixated on something of value to the world, to my family, and to my career, to my life. Your career, this job search, what's happening right now from a US perspective, because most of you are in the US. So when you think about your career, what I have noticed, having spoken with so many professionals in marketing who feel like they're creative, feel like they're strategic, feel like they should have accomplished more in the amount of time that they've been a marketer for whatever organization, is that while they say they want to have a dream career, what I've noticed is a huge disconnect. It's not always their dream. It's as if they inherited the dream from someone else. It may have been a boss, a family member. It may have been a professor. It may have been someone who said, hey, you can only rise to that certain level, and beyond that, it's not, going to work for you for whatever reason. And that That right there is the disconnect that absolutely does get under my skin, would probably give me like grin marks, and I am willing to age around because it's important. I think if you're gonna spend time, use your God-given talents, your skills, your experiences, your relationships, your resources, and your brain, i.e. talent, to solve something, it should actually be something that matters to you, not something that matters to someone else or matters or you inherited by way of the next thing, right? So the reason why I kind of compare the two is because from an aging perspective, society has spent billions of dollars in order to convince me that I should look a certain way. From a career perspective, if, as an example, you have your MBA, the expectation has been that you should get, opportunities that would take advantage of your MBA, compensate you more because of your MBA, et cetera, et cetera. But what I am here to tell you is that don't let someone else's expectations become your own and almost like hide out, and you pretend that they really matter to you when the reality is that you don't really care about that, right? So when I think about all of these amazingly talented, healthy, accomplished, beautiful human beings that are doing something that they don't really care about, and when I imagine what if they actually cared about the beneficiaries of their work, the beneficiaries of their effort, shareholders getting richer for some sort of amazing reason, maybe that's something that's in your heart, I don't know. What if that were the case? What if, rather than have to pull yourself together to get on a Zoom call in order to sell an idea, what if you could spring out of bed 3 o'clock in the morning? I literally woke up at 3 o'clock in the morning, and you felt excited and overjoyed and in full confidence and in full control of your own destiny because you're doing something that you actually care, you actually give a crap, you want to fixate. You want to fixate on, right? Not this like random arbitrary like neck thing with me, right? So I really want to just invite you to be really, really critical. And here's my very specific exercise. I want you to pick one insecurity, and it could be either in the camp of your career, it could be in the camp of aging, it could be in the camp of, financial wealth, whatever actually matters to you. Right? So this is completely agnostic to your career. This is completely related to where you are right now from a US perspective, given everything that's happening and what I'm hearing from all the people that are really suffering because of all the uncertainty. Any bucket of your life, pick one insecurity, write it down, and really, really be critical. Judge that insecurity and say to yourself, is that my insecurity? Or might I have inherited it from who knows where? And do I still give a crap about it? Because you changed, you've evolved, you've seen more life, you've experienced things that are different, maybe the antithesis of, someone that would even care about that particular insecurity at this stage of your life, given what is real to you. So really think to yourself, okay, one insecurity. Do I really give a crap about that insecurity? You don't have to. Might it be something that's attached to the fact that you have your MBA? Because if you have an MBA, then you should be doing X, Y, and Z. But in your reality, you actually don't care about it. So really, I invite you to do that exercise. Be really critical about your insecurities and make sure that you release them if they are not your own. There's no reason for you to be carrying around more baggage than necessary as you continue to age and to be finally aging, like this beautiful wine notion that they have, out there, right? That people say. So I invite you to just think about your insecurities, ascertain whether or not they really are yours, if it makes sense for you to fixate on them, and if not, release them, get rid of them, throw them out the garbage, burn them, give them to whoever would like them. If you don't like that person, whatever, just be sure that if you're feeling aggravation, it's for something you actually care. Right? You want to care about the things that are giving you all this ajala, for lack of a better phrase. All right. So once you are ready to really make that distinction for yourself, no, I'm going to go after this particular career and I don't care what other people think about it. Or no, I'm going to go after this particular career and it might not be conventional based on all of my expectations from the world and what have you, but that's what I want. Once you're at that place, then that's when you and I need to have a conversation. My heart's desire is that you execute on what truly matters to you. So either way, it's a win. Okay, either way, it's a win. Just make sure whatever you're doing, you really give a crap about it. Okay.